Hello, my name is Richard, and today during my presentation, I'm going to talk to you guys about one of my favorite musical instruments of all time, and that is the tuba. I've been a huge fan of the tuba ever since I was 18 years old, and I've been hooked ever since. The tuba is part of the brass instrument family. I will speak a little bit more about the brass instruments a little bit later on. And brief examples of brass instruments are trumpet, trombone, and the French horn. And in this case, size does matter because the tuba is the largest instrument in the brass family. It is by far one of the biggest, if not possibly one of the largest instruments ever used in a band. And it is also the lowest pitched instrument, meaning their notes can go very deep and very low, and yet it can still be loud regardless of how low the note will be. So in general, through music, there are pretty much four main voices or sounds that we normally hear through music. It can be either soprano, alto, tenor, or bass. For those who do not know, a tuba does not belong to neither an alto, soprano, or tenor. It can be an alternative to a tenor, but it actually plays as a bass, which means the low. Now, the whole design of the tuba is probably the most unique part of the whole instrument in itself because it has a large bell that's about maybe close to 2.5 foot long, which is about 35 to 76.2 centimeters long. Now, where would you find a tuba in terms of events? Well, you can find tubas playing at an orchestra or live concert, college football or basketball games, or even a presidential event. Now, other unique features about the tuba is its fingering technique. Now, some tubas may have 3 valves, others have 4, and the fingering position for each valve normally includes the index, the middle, and the ring fingers. And it's just like any other brass or woodwind instrument. The reason why I say that is because they each play a musical note which consists of a letter. Now, each of those notes consists of letters from A all the way to G. And the tuba isn't cheap. And whenever you mind it isn't cheap, it really isn't cheap. Because the price tag to buy a tuba it ranges between $1,000 to well over $20,000. The tuba is not a toy to play with. You must treat it with respect. Be very delicate with it because there's going to be a moment where it breaks and it's not going to be able to get fixed, which means you would have to buy a very new one. Also, practice makes perfect. Always spend a few hours trying to learn key notes to play any piece. Also, it's very, very important to learn your chromatic scales. Chromatic scales meaning do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. There is also something in music called beats per measure. And what it is it's the amount of beats you play per measure in a section. So for example, if a song is 4/4, that means that in every section there is 4 beats per measure. The tuba was first created in the start of the 19th century. In the year 1835, Johann Gottfried Moritz, who was an instrument maker, and William Wieprich, a bandmaster, were the first ones to ever create the tuba. Now, earlier in the presentation, I said that a tuba is a brass instrument. Now, in terms of brass, the most common use of material that's used in brass is a blend of copper and zinc. Now, if you would like to get your hands on a tuba, we all know that it doesn't come cheap, but we all would like to know where would we like to buy it? There's two options. One is online through Amazon.com, and also you can buy it at a musical department store such as Sam Ed. Now, we all know there are different brands in clothes, shoes, televisions, etc., etc. But do we also know that there are different brands of the tuba? These brands are the three most common known brands of the tuba: Yamaha, Miraphone, and Concon. Now, believe it or not, bass is the only focal point of the tuba, which means that there are other types of tubas in which any person can play. There is a B and B flat tuba, we have an E flat tuba, we have an F tuba, we have a B flat tenor tuba, and lastly we have, once you purchase your tuba, it comes with accessories, and those accessories come in handy. One is called a case, comes with a mouthpiece, also a stand, and cleaning materials to help keep your tuba shiny.